今天这个 Grant 是这个说英文的。
把那个关一下，好吵。
于毅 ，Leo 还没上来是吧？我没看到嘞。哦，来了。我这边旁边在装修，可能有一些噪音，大家听得到吗？会干扰吗？
没有听到有任何噪音，能听到我吗？
我能听到，我那个隔壁邻居好像在那个电锯啊，我听得很清楚，可能你们听不到，那就好。OK，
我同时放了2个号在里面。
时间已经到了啊，那么咱们这个就正式开始。大家好，我是河马，今天又到了我们这个 MaxiDAO 的这个周末的Chia in China AMA。今天我们非常有幸啊，这个邀请到了来自美国的这个 Grant 啊，so welcome Grant, welcome to Chia in China. So as we know, you are a developer for Chia economy. Oh, you looks like not the same as your picture.
I don't know why. Maybe because I have the mustache.
Yeah. You sure you are Grant, right?
Yes, it's me.
Yeah. So welcome, and could you please let me introduce. This is my colleague, Mr. Yu Yi. This guy on the video.
Thank you.
Hello.
And our founder.
See you, Grant.
And our founder of MaxiDAO, Leo, he will take care of the translation because I don't know technology too much. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, I also have written some of these things down in case it helps so that it will be clearer, the things that I say. So, so I've been developing software for the last 25 years. In the early part of my career, I was programming mostly in C and C++ in Microsoft. Later, I did .NET development and Java. I did that in the context of web development, mostly in medical imaging. And then I really got started in crypto when we were seeking to solve problems in medical imaging. And mostly due to federating data access using Ethereum and Solidity. So I worked using Ethereum and Solidity for a couple of years. And then I was the chief security officer at Exodus. So I was responsible for the entire backend of Exodus and running their entire full node infrastructure. I don't know if you want me to stop at certain points and then you can translate. Maybe that's enough. And then we can break it up.
Yeah, Leo, please. If you need a break, just let Grant know that.
Yeah, I think we're good. So thanks for writing down. Actually, I think that's really helpful. So I think please finish your self-introduction. So before I don't need to interrupt you. Okay.
Okay. So I ran the entire backend infrastructure. So we had to run all of these different assets, Bitcoin, Cardano, EOS, everything that was popular at the time. We ran it all. So I was running it all in Docker and Kubernetes, and responsible for the pricing server, Shapeshift. So really had a good experience with running a lot of different cryptos and having experience to use many different kinds. So after that, I worked at a lot of different startup companies and did a lot of consulting work until I had a chance to get my farm online in Chia. So then it was in 2020 that I got started plotting, and then I was there and ready for mainnet launch in 2021. And pretty much since I had a chance to start working with Chia, it's pretty much been my focus. I've been programming in Chia, Lisp, and very much excited about trying to get any kinds of businesses or other types of programming in Chia Lisp. That's been pretty much my focus of all of 2021.
Thank you, Grant. Okay, I just do a quick translation for people who are not able to read what Grant was sent to the chat already. Grant 他刚才做了一个简单的自我介绍啊，他在我们的team 的这个聊天室里面也把他的主要的内容都用英文的形式就是发给大家，这样非常的帮助。他在过去的大概25年里面都是一直是做软件的开发的工作。在职业生涯的早期呢，主要是用 C 和 C++， 在就是 Windows 的，就是微软的Windows 系统里面做开发，后来又用就是 testnet， 就是也是和Java， 然后做在就是以医疗影像这个领域里面做开发。在他开始接触区块链的时候还是就比较早。是从但具体时间他也没有说，就是说是他在一个公司叫做Nucleus Health 和 Mint Health 这两个公司里面，就是用区块链的技术来处理就是一些就是医疗存储或者处理一些医疗图像，他对各种各样的这个区块链都有一些了解，就是他刚才也讲了，包括以太坊啊，就是Cardano 忘记中文是叫什么了啊，就是不同的就是区块链系统他都有一些了解。然后呢，在2018年的时候，他就是首席安全官，就是在一个公司叫做 Exodus 这样的公司里面，是对所有的就是就是负责所有的后台的这个开发，就是对支持所有不同的就是加密货币的资产。他是重新设计了，就是他们的就这些公司里面啊，他是重新设计他们的就是定价的系统，以及就是有一个叫做 Shapeshift 的Shapeshift 是一个比较大的也是一个比较大的交易所，在美国的一个交易所，就是跟Shapeshift 一起就是接口吧，应该是。好，之后呢，他在不同的就是初创企业里面。都是做了这种咨询服务，给他们提供了就是关于软件的构架呀和系统的基础设施的一些建设的那种咨询服务。在2021年的时候，他就创建了他现在这个公司叫做 Irulast。他是跟Chia的关系是大概是在2020年的年底的时候，就开始在Chia的测试网里面。做了一些就是耕种的就是 farming 的这个活动，然后一直到主网上线是2021年的时候，主网上线的时候就它一开始就有100个terabyte 的这个就是 farming 的空间啊。Okay, yeah, that's all.
Okay, so the next question that you had asked me was about my crypto experience, right? So I've been developing blockchain since 2016, and my focus with blockchain development was to try to solve a real world problem, right? Like something that is actually useful, not just the crypto casino and speculating in ICOs and, all of the kind of stuff that was popular at the time. So what we were seeking to solve was federating data access. So using the blockchain as like this global database where we could put access control to medical imaging data. So if you had some sort of a study like a chest scan or an X-ray, being able to access that data by putting access control records into a Solidity smart contract and using the Ethereum blockchain to store URLs. So this was before NFTs were doing this kind of stuff. So this was very, very early phase. And then later at Mint Health, we were using this same kind of a concept to allow access to self-sovereign health records where you would put your medical data somewhere in like AWS S3, and then you would be able to sell access to your medical data in an anonymized fashion for artificial intelligence or other types of systems that needed access to massive amounts of data, and you could monetize that. You would get paid if you would rent out your data to medical researchers and other companies that wanted to get access to your data. So that was kind of my early experience into blockchain. I spent about 3 years programming in Solidity, and I absolutely hate Ethereum and Solidity, and I swore I would never program in it ever again. So I first sort of got exposure to Chia at around this time when I was seeking to find a solution to how much it cost to do things in Ethereum. We were off by about an order of magnitude. It was 10 times or 100 times too expensive to solve the medical problems that we wanted to solve. So kind of hit a dead end, and none of the things that we were trying to do on Ethereum really worked. But I was exposed to Chia in around 2017, and I didn't really understand what Chia was about at the time. But I just decided that I wanted to keep watching it and looking to see when they do something and go mainnet. So that was kind of my exposure to Chia, was around 2017, and they were looking for C++ developers. And at the time, I didn't have enough confidence in myself to say I want to just join the team, because they said we only want the best C++ developers. So I said, I don't know if I'm the best C++ developer. I probably am not good enough to be with those guys. So I decided not to join the team, but I kept watching, and then I looked for my next chance to work with Chia. So that ended up being in 2020.
Oh, so you were invited to join the team at that time back in 2017?
Yeah, they asked me to apply, but then I decided not to do it because I didn't think that I was good enough to be with Bram coding in C++ on VDFs. I felt like that it was probably beyond what I could do. But I probably just didn't have enough confidence in myself. I probably could have done it.
OK， 我觉得，好的。刚才 Brian 讲了一下他在那个就是crypto 这个领域里面的一些经验和一些背景。他刚才在自我介绍的时候已经说了，他在那个从2018年开始就已经就是接触 crypto， 他已经做那个在那个区块链上做链上的开发。最早的时候就说是在那个 Nucleus Health 这个公司里面，做那个用区块链来对这个就是医疗影像数据做这种就是可以控制的这种就是访问的这种这样子的那个应用。就是说那时候是2018年左右的时候。不是，他说2016年就开始接触了，说的不是2018年，但是就是说最早的时候是做那个对这个医疗影像数据的一些权限的这种访问的一些控制。那时候之前都还没有像现在这样流行的 NFT 的这样的概念，他那时候就已经在这上面做开发了。后来在这个另外一个公司就是叫做那个 Mint Health 这个公司里面呢，他就说是做这个就是也是对那个就是医疗的这个数据的记录来做，就是叫做用户自治的，就是用户自己可以控制这样的那个医疗数据的记录，然后呢把它共享给就是别的这些其他的第三方的公司，比如说需要人工智能的公司啊，或者数据分析啊，就是别的公司用这种就是anonymous 就是那种匿名的方式给别的公司来存取啊。这一点我可以稍微解释一下，就是说在美国的话，就是对那个个人的医疗数据就是说是非常的这个敏感，就是说是 任何一个公司如果是在那个就是在那个医疗数据或者医疗影像，就任何关于个人健康数据相关的这种领域里面工作的话，它是非常严格的，就是这样子的那个数据存取的这种规定，它就是为了保护这个个人的隐私和个人的这个医疗数据，这个所以说就说是用区块链来做这种一定的权限的这种控制，以及那种就是匿名访问的这种，实际上是就是之前在18年左右，那时候已经是非常流行的一个概念啊。好，然后呢，他就说是在这个领域里面，就是之前都是一直是用以太坊嘛，就是他就是大家都知道以太坊的那个访问是很贵和很慢的，所以他就很讨厌这个就是这个 Solidity 和这个以太坊的这个在开发这个经验哈。好，然后从2017年开始他就知道这个Chia这个项目，当时就说是他只是很谦虚的讲，就是他自己觉得自己的这个经验就是说是还不够啊，就说是Chia公司当时也邀请他就是参加比如面试啊什么，他自己觉得自己的这个能力可能还不够，所以就没有选择加入，只是在那个旁边就是那个观察和那个和学习吧。这也是他对那个就是这个就加密货币的这个行业的一些经验，就是可以看出他确实是有非常多经验，而且是对那个以太坊啊这些都是有深刻的了解的，这样的。Okay, sounds good, Grant. Please go ahead.
Okay. So why I'm excited about Chia is mostly because it solves the energy problem without sacrificing security through Nakamoto consensus. I mean, for me, that's just the most important thing, that crypto be decentralized. I've been very concerned about the centralization that's been happening within a lot of the proof of stake coins, with Ethereum moving to proof of stake, and with the Bitcoin pools having so much power over the chain. So when I really started to understand how Chia's consensus model was working, it just got me extremely excited about how this blockchain can be the next big blockchain. And I think it's also very exciting that it uses a functional programming paradigm to create smart contracts. As someone who's used the imperative model a lot, which is the difference between these. So you sort of have the contrast between the imperative model and the functional model. The functional model is very hard. It's very difficult to understand and get right until you change how you think. But when you do, and you're able to program in the coin set model using a functional language like Lisp, it really eliminates a lot of the problems and the issues that you would have otherwise trying to program in blockchains. It's a natural fit, and I'm really glad that it's being used this way. So that's what gets me excited about Chia, is that it's secure, that it solves the energy problem, and that it has a better programming model for how to get smart contracts correct and to ensure that we don't have the types of security issues that we've had with the protocols that have been created on Ethereum and the Terra blockchain.
Okay, thank you. 这个问题就是说，说为什么就Grant他对那个Chia的那个会喜欢Chia，对吧？然后跟其他的项目比，他觉得就是Chia哪些地方更有吸引力？这个就是说是他主要的理由就是说是有几点啊，就说是那个Grant他的，因为他自己对那个以太坊啊或这些都是很有深刻的研究啊。就第一点就说是这个就是能源方面的这个节省，就是我们都知道就是在那个比特币和以太坊用这个就是就是通过挖矿来保证这个网络安全性的时候呢，同时就是会消耗巨大的这个能源，对不对？但是那个Chia它的那个共识算法，就是它一方面使用了就是这种它的新的这个共识算法，就是一方面它在保证了这个就是安全性的这个同时，就是使用的这种就是工作量证明的这种就是共识算法，但它的工作量证明是比较独特的，就是不会对这个不会有更多的能源的消耗，这一点是他认为是非常 重要的一点啊。这之前我们的之前的别早的这个 AMA 里面也讲过了，这个就是Chia的公式算法和别的公式算法的一些区别哈，就是说是这一点就说是对这个一个加密货币里面的这个资深的研究者像 Grant 这样来说的话，他认为这是他个人最看好的一点。好，然后呢就说是他其实又讲到了就说是这个在Chia上面开发使用这个Chia Lisp，因为Chia Lisp 这个开发呢，它是说是因为这是虽然是比较困难啊，它是用的是这个functional programming，functional programming 中文应该不是很清楚怎么样翻译，就说是一种比较是跟普通的这种就是基于这种普通的比如说 C++ 或 Java 它这种比如说面向对象程序设计啊，或者是面向过程的程序设计 functional programming 应该是说面向功能的
函数编程，中文一般是这么叫。
行吧，对我是不知道中文
函数式编程语言，对，中文是这样。
它是这种，就是说是这种编程模式是跟普通的这种大家常见的这种就是编程语言的这种模式是不一样的啊。因为这个在我们自己也是在这个行业里面很多年了，确实是就说这个上手是比较困难的。但是呢，就说是这种编程模式的话，它是会带来更多的这个就系统的安全性，就是说是同时呢，就是当你我完全适应这种编程模式之后呢，你会就是有不同的这个想法，就是做起事情来就说是其实是会更安全，或者是说会更有效率一点啊。这一点就说是在他看来也是非常重要的一点，就是对这个Chia这个生态他自己感兴趣的一个做法。对，刚才之前还忘了，他回答上一个问题的时候，他也说了，他自己就说是对区块链的一个想法，就是说是他比较看重就在区块链的行业里面能够解决实际的问题。就是说，所以说，因为他自己一直是在这个就是医疗影像这个行业嘛，就是对这个解决实际问题的这个情况是特别的看重啊。好 ，OK， yeah.
Okay, so Geocrypto Utils. This is something we've been working on for a little while now. I really got inspired to start working on Geocrypto Utils because I was trying to work with cats, and I found that the Python code that was written to work with cats was very it was very difficult to separate it into pieces that I could easily work with. Essentially, I wanted to find a coin, spend a coin, create a cat, spend a cat, and create some of the things that you needed to do, like form a lineage proof and do a ring spend. And all of these things were extremely intertwined inside the Python code, making it difficult to do very basic operations in Chia. If you're doing it in the context of all of the Python code, it works. But if you try to do outside of the bounds of what Chia is doing, particularly in their code base, it's difficult, right? I mean, I did not want to code a module that would live inside of Chia's, like main code base. I wanted to do something that was my own client code, my own thing. And so I found that it was just too difficult to use their code. So that's what inspired me to start working with it. Just the ability to start from a mnemonic, generate some keys, have my own puzzles that were compatible with Chia's, and then to work with cats that were compatible. And I looked at the ecosystem and I saw that Nucleus and Arbor Wallet and Gobi, they were all incompatible. They were not working together in a comprehensive way that was compatible with each other. And so I wanted to have a reference that everyone could look at, so that if you wanted to do it in a way that was consistent, you would have one place to reference that was really easy to read, and that all the tests would show you how to do it correctly. So that was my idea for what we wanted to do with Geocrypto Utils. And I think with the last release that we put out, we've sort of hit that first level where everything all the way up to cats is working. So that to me has been like one of the biggest achievements thus far, is that we've demonstrated that all of this can be done. And it's a nice reference for anyone that's looking to build inside of the Chia ecosystem. You have like a great place to start, and at least some code that's much easier to read than the Python code, because the Python code is just, it's very dense, and it has a lot of stuff that probably isn't interesting for people who want to write clients. So that was the idea around Chia Crypto Utils, is try to make Chia as easy to use as possible for people who want to program a client in Chia.
So may I ask, the Chia Crypto util is written in JavaScript, right?
It's in Dart, actually.
Oh, in Dart. Okay. So Dart, I don't remember clearly. It was used mostly in the Android platform or what? Or
it's mostly used by Flutter. So Flutter is a cross-platform programming environment for creating mobile applications and for creating browsers.
Flutter was supported by Google, right? So that's, I remember, right? It's
Yeah.
in the Android platform. It's come from Android platform, right? Okay. Okay,
It's,
cool.
it's very much like TypeScript. So if you've ever worked with TypeScript, it's very similar to TypeScript.
Cool. Okay, thanks for clarification. 对，然后就现在这个问题就是说是为什么会来做这个就是叫做Chia Crypto Util，就是那个这样的一个项目啊，就说是对这个项目就说是Grant 他就是说是在从大概2022年年初的时候就开始那个就是做这个叫做Chia Crypto Util，是一个应该算是一个工具集吧，就说是对这个Chia的这个就是开发者来说算是一个工具集。然后呢，因为原生的这个Chia的这个代码大家都知道是用 Python 写的，对吧？就说是如果Python 写的，然后呢在Python 这个环境里面做开发的时候，就说是会对那个原生的这个库啊，或者是原生的这些 Python library 有非常多的这个依赖性。然后呢，同时这个原生的库它也是非常的就相互有比较复杂的这种依赖关系，就是说你要用一种很简单的方式来写自己的这种模块和自己的那种应用的话是比较困难的一个事情。然后就是说不是很容易模块化的能够来做这个就是Chia上面的应用的开发，所以说他就做了这个就是Chia的这个 Crypto Util这样的一套标准库，我们可以把它看成啊，就是这个刚才我也刚才问了一下，就是说这个是用的语言叫做 Dart， 它是我有简单的一些了解，就说是它是最早就是这个Google 它做了一套就是那个也是一套标准库，从安卓这个平台开始叫做 Flutter， 就 Flutter 这是一个现在应该说是在这个移动开发里面是一个像是也是非常流行的这样一套开发的框架，也是一个跨平台的一个开发框架。这个 Flutter 就是用 Dart 这个语言来做的，所以这个Chia Crypto Util 也是用这个 Dart 这个语言来开发的。这个好处就是说是能够独立于这个现有的这个Chia这个 Python code， 然后呢，它已经是在现在这个同时就是可以给任何想参与Chia这个应用开发的人提供了一个很好的一个参考的这样一个价值，就是对目前Chia里面的这些Python 里面的一些功能的话，就是可以用另外一种语言的方式来实现。他也讲了一些例子，就是说是比如说现在的一些钱包啊，或者一些别的那种客户端的话，他们之间并没有完全的兼容所以就说是如果提供一套标准的这个开发的库的话，就是可以让大家能够兼容起来，也可以提供一些参考，让后来的那个参与者能够有更简单的或者是能够上手，这也是它的一个目的。在最新的这个 So Grant, let me clarify. So in the latest release, you mentioned that you supported most of the function in the crypto util, except
Yes.
cat or what?
No, it includes cats.
Include
Cats
cat.
are
Okay.
included.
So basically, you re-implemented all the library for the clients using Dart.
Yes.
OK, cool. 就是在最新这一版的这个发布里面，它就已经实现了基本上所有的就是那个就是Chia这个 Python 这个提供的功能包括 cast 的功能， 这就是刚才我跟他澄清了一下，就是这样的。这样的话就说是可以有一个，相当于是它重新实现了所有的客户端的这样的那些功能之后，别人就不一定就是一定要用那个 Python 来做开发了，就是在那个开发这个就是Chia的应用的时候就不一定要用 Python 了。而且之前也讲了，就是说 Dart 这个它也有这个语言也有它自己的优势，就是它也是一个跨平台的，它的移动端的跨平台可以支持安卓啊和那个苹果的 iOS 这些都是可以的，这样就让那个跨平台的开发就是更容易。So Grant also I have a further question. So we actually from MaxiDAO we actually create a library of Golang to access all the Chia function, but not fully complete. Or implement most of the function for Chia, and by calling the RPC function with the Chia node. Do you think that will also be like beneficial to the ecosystem?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I was definitely working with Go and Golang on a project I was doing. So yes, I think we actually looked at your code if we were using it a little bit. So we looked at it and referenced it. So you should take a look if you're gonna fully support cats. Really, it's good, easily readable code, and all the CLVM and all the puzzles are there in Geocrypto Utils. So it's a good reference for anybody that wants to port into any language. It's a good place to start.
Cool. 对，我刚才在讲，其实就是我们 MaxiDAO 也支持了一个项目，就是把这个就是Chia的客户端用这个 Golang 这个语言来实现，就是因为我刚才讲的原生的它是只是 Python 的嘛，如果我们不想用 Python，尤其是我们做后端开发的，我们不想用 Python， 我们想用 Golang 的时候，我们也实现了这个就是这个 Golang 的这个客户端的这样的一个语言。然后像刚才讲的，就是他在做这个用 Dart 来开发这个 Utils 的时候，实际上也参考了一部分的我们这个 Golang 的这个代码也参考，但是我们这个 Golang 的这个客户端并没有支持全部的功能，包括现在 Cats 这些功能并没有完全支持，因为我们之前做的时候，也是为了我们的跨链桥的一个后端做准备，只是实现了一些我们当时所需要的一些功能，其实并没有完全的这样一个支持。Okay, sounds good. So Grant next.
Okay, so you'd asked a question, what was the biggest challenge with creating Geocrypto Utils? I would say that the biggest challenge was reading the Python code. It is very, very difficult to understand what is going on in that code. It is very hard to understand. Even if you are in it a lot of time, you have to reverse engineer everything. There are no notes, there's no documentation in any way to explain how any of this stuff is supposed to work. So you just have to start by reading the Chia list, and then you have to try to understand what the Python code is doing. And it is all very intricate and very twined up. So we have spent days and hours studying this code and trying to figure it out, and then going and begging Chia for help, because there's only 2 people at Chia that understand half of any of this stuff. It's Quexington and Straya is like the only 2 people who understand it. So you have to try to get a little bit of their time. And when we finally did get a couple of questions answered, then sort of the rest of the code fell in place. But I would say ring spends in cat was very difficult to understand, and melting cats was very, very difficult. I have been trying to melt a cat since November of 2021, and we finally achieved that. So that was a big accomplishment.
Melt cat, you mentioned the melt cat?
Yes, we melted a cat, and it's there in the Geocrypto Utils. It shows how to melt it. It's there.
So the melting the cat is a bit like a burning?
It's kind of like burning when you mint a cat. You have to use some Chia to do it. So the conversion is you have to spend 1,000 mojos per cat token. That 1,000 mojos is recoverable with a certain type of cat tail. So if you use a certain type of tail issuance limit program, then it's possible to recover the Chia that was used to create the cat. Most tails will not allow you to recover the Chia. So for much of the Chia asset tokens that have been created, the Chia that was used to create it is not recoverable. You cannot melt the cat back down. So effectively, there has been quite a bit of Chia that has been burned in the whole cat explosion that happened, you know, and all of the cats that were created. But
isn't that the right thing to do, to burn the Chia?
well, it's good for anybody who wants the token price to go up, I suppose, because some of it is now gone, but not very much. You know, it's like maybe 10 or 100 Chia maybe were used up in the creation of all those cats.
OK。刚才问的这个问题，我看那个也有中文的翻译，就说是在这开发这个 Geocrypto Util 里面最大的那个困难，就是最大挑战是什么啊？就是他讲的，就说是，就是读这个 Python 这个代码来试图这个逆向工程这个Chia的一些功能就是最困难的一个部分。实际上这部分我也是有同样的感受啊，就是我们在做这个跨链桥的时候，包括一些签名的时候，我必须要花很多时间去重新读这个Chia的原生的这个 Python 代码，来了解它具体内部的这个工作流程是什么样的，这样才能够实现一部分的功能。包括因为我们是用 Golang 来做的嘛，就说是这部分的，因为没有任何的这个注释，或者是说没有任何的这种就是开发的这种文档来告诉大家是该怎么样来做的。所以他说他也就是跟那个Chia团队的主要也就是2个工程师，跟他们有空的时候跟他们联系，让他们也来提供一些的帮助。刚才其中更直接的讲到一个，就是有一个叫做 melt cat 的功能。这 melt cat 功能大概就说是我们不是可以用这个Chia就 XCH 来铸造这个 cat 嘛？但是就说是，但是你要把它转换回去，就是说你可以把那个 cat 也重新把它就是转换回这个就是那个Chia的时候，这相当于就是 melt cat， 就是说有一个这个转换的过程是很困难的一个很困难的一个功能来实现。刚才我也跟他稍微开了一下玩笑，就是实际上很多有一部分的这个Chia就是在这个就是在过程中就已经就没了，对吧？就相当于是被烧掉了，就说是没法再从你铸造了的看就没法再转换回去那个原生的Chia。但是这部分他也是说按照他的讲法也是把它完成了这部分的这个功能。在这部分我也没研究过这部分的功能啊，但是我知道就说是Chia官方的这个发布的这个一些参考的文档里面是有关怎么样能够铸造的看，但可能就是关于但是大多数的就是这种要转换回去的这部分的，可能很多人就是没法来实现这样的功能。对，这也忘记刚才在上一个问答里面也讲的这个 Dart 这个语言，再简单的讲一下，我也说了它是那个就是 Google 开发的一个跨平台的一个语言，其中还有就它是跟那个 TypeScript， 就是 TypeScript 是基于那个 JavaScript 来做的一个另外就是 JavaScript 之上开发的一套语言吧，就是 Dart 本身跟 TypeScript 也是比较像。TypeScript 是在现在的新的这种就是就是网站啊，或者是做就是互联网上面的应用开发也是比较流行的一个新的语言呢，是基于 JavaScript 来做的这样的一个东西。Okay, that's good.
Okay, so I would say that the other big accomplishment that we have been able to demonstrate with Geocrypto Utils was something that we found was very lacking when we were trying to develop it, which was how do you test any of this, right? When we first started testing, the only thing available to us was test on testnet 10. And that meant that we had to have synced testnet 10 nodes, and it was really onerous to get these things set up and to keep them online. During the development of what we had been working on, which was the stateless Chia full node. So we actually took the Chia full node and we made it so you could run it with a separate database, not with the SQLite database, but with MySQL or Postgres. During the course of that development, what we found was that Chia had this simulator tool, and we had never really paid too much attention to it. But during the course of that development, we found that the simulator was this invaluable tool that was sort of hidden inside the Python code and was being used by the Chia team, but not really talked about and not made accessible or available to the community. So we took the simulator and we made it available in a Docker container so that you could just say Docker run and the simulator was there. And the simulator allows you to do things like farm a block. So it allows you to farm a block and get some coins and do that to a specific address so that then you can turn around and immediately make another call and say, get coin records by puzzle hash. So you have this repeatable way to get a coin and to farm coins and sort of move the blocks along, which means that you can write integration tests. And for me, as somebody who developed a lot in Solidity, this is exactly what we had with Ganache and Truffle. And so it was the thing that I was most missing in the Chia ecosystem. So as soon as we got the simulator working, it was just like it immediately allowed us to become productive, right? If we hadn't had the simulator, I don't even think we would be anywhere near as far along in Geocrypto Utils. So for me, making the simulator accessible to everybody was sort of a big accomplishment. And it was very frustrating because as soon as I got the simulator working, the Chia team broke it immediately. Like it only happened that like we were able to capture it during like this very short period of time. And I published it to Docker Hub. So I haven't been able to resurrect the simulator in the Chia code since. So it's still just sort of broken and not accessible to the community, except as the Docker container that we pushed out through Irulast. So I'd say this was another big accomplishment and is sort of something that I've been working with Straya to try to resurrect and make again available to the community, because right now it's only available on Mac and Mac Intel, because that just happened to be the machines that our team was using. But I'd really like it available for ARM and for Linux, you know, for Debian or something like that, because right now it's only available on Mac, and that's extremely unfortunate and not what we want. So the simulator, I would say, is the biggest accomplishment, and it's there as part of the code base and is available for use, but only on these couple of platforms. So we really have to get that working for Windows, for Linux, for ARM, and that I think will be something that we're hoping to do in the next couple of days or weeks to make sure that that's available, just like for everyone.
So right now it's only available on the Mac platform you mentioned?
Well, because I use a Mac and
So
someone else on my team.
the simulator only available on the Mac platform.
Right, because when we built it, right, the days that it worked, we had the binaries that day. You know, we had the image of the Docker container, so we were able to push that to Docker Hub, but they broke it right away, and so I couldn't build it on any other platforms, because when I went to build the Docker container,
so
again,
you build the binary. The binary is available. The binary only
binaries
built on Mac at that time. Okay, I see. Gotcha.
So I'm working with Straya to fix it and to resurrect it. So I was actually working on that earlier today, but I got busy doing something else. And since my team isn't blocked, it's not a high priority. So, but I do want to get it working for everyone. So it's sort of a high priority for me, just to make sure that everyone has access to the same tools that we have, because I just don't know how you can be productive in Chia without the simulator. It's just,
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
invaluable.
I share definitely the similar like a concern, like when we were like developing our cross-chain bridge, right? So it's hard to test in a testnet, and also like you don't have the coin environment, like really takes a long time of the development cycle. Yeah, that's really great. That's a really help from the developer perspective. Myself is a developer, right? So from the developer perspective, I can definitely say that's a huge contribution to the community. 刚才我们讲的这个就是，刚才也翻译了一下啊，中文这里有个简单翻译，就说是，这个 crypto util 就它最大的贡献和成就是什么？之前已经讲了一点，就说是那个 melting 那个 cat， 相当于就是把那个 cat 给转换回那个 Chia 这部分，就是，然后其中，那个刚才上一个问题里面已经讲了，然后这里他又重点讲了另外一个很重要的那个，就是贡献，就说是 有一个就是在那个Chia这个代码里面有一个叫做那个就是叫做那个模拟器的这样一个东西。这模拟器呢，但是那个Chia官方团队并没有就是去宣传它的如何使用，或者已经把它隔离出来。然后它是在这个就是在那个 Mac 这个环境里面，就是把这个模拟器给它那个就编译出来之后，生成了一个2进制的代码，然后再做了一个就 Docker 的这个image。Docker 是这个在开发里面大家常用的一种就是原生的可以封装，把所有的相应的 code 封装起来可以易用的这样一种就是这个开发的这个环境嘛。他们做了这样的一个 Docker image， 但是就是很不幸的就是说他们刚把这个 Docker image 放到那个 Docker Hub 这个地方去之后，那个团队Chia团队里面那个 Docker image 那个 simulator 又出问题了，就又 break 了，所以他就现在只能够在那个 Mac 这个环境里面是使用这个就是他 build 的这个 Docker image。So let me clarify, Grant. So the Docker image you build is for the Intel platform, not for the either for ARM on Mac or for Intel.
We support Mac, Intel, and Mac M1. That's the only two we were able to
yeah,
grab before they broke it again. Yeah.
Sure. 这个是在 Mac 环境里面，就是那个 Mac 里面那个 M1 芯片，就是那个 ARM 平台和那个 Intel 的芯片的这个都是支持，但是在别的就是在那个 Linux 或者是别的 Windows 环境里面，是不支持的，因为这个也是官方把那个东西给 break 了。他现在也在跟那个就是官方团队的一起，就是来把这个东西给修复，就是这个Chia这个就是那个模拟器，这个模拟器这个功能是非常重要的，就是在开发环境里面的话，就是说他刚才讲了几个功能，就说是这个对，这个可以讲，这个类比于就是在以太坊生态上面开发有个叫做 Ganesh 和那个 Truffle 这样子这种就是开发环境是可以就是在本地的机器上面跑一个完整的这个区块链的这样一个设置，这样的话就说是你是不用连接任何那个官方的这个测试网或者是主网，你就可以在本地环境里面起来这样一个环境，就是也可以本地的做一些简单的这种耕种，就可以来测试自己的一些开发。这个是对开发者来说，是非常重要的一个提高生产效率的这样一种工作，同时对那种持续交付、持续集成的这种环境，比如 CI/CD 这样的环境，也是需要这样子的工具用来对这个代码的那个功能做持续性的验证啊。这个是在这开发者就是社区里面应该是非常受欢迎的这样一个工具。他们就是讲了，就是把这一部分是从那个Chia这个环境里面单独拿出来之后，做了这样的一个贡献。这一点是我个人也是非常那个期待哈，或者非常赞许这个做法是非常的好，对开发者来说是非常的这个友好。Okay, yeah. Next.
Okay, so the next question that was asked was, what's next on the roadmap? So there are some more primitives that we want to support that we haven't quite finished yet. So DID, the new distributed identity, we want to support that. Offer files and NFTs. So we actually have DIDs done. We haven't published it yet. We're working on offer files right now. It's almost done. NFTs are not done enough for us to really work on it. We've looked at it, but because the Chia team is still changing it a lot, it would mean that we'd have to do it and then do it over again and do it over again. And we're not really interested in sort of just spinning our wheels on NFTs for a while. So DIDs and offer files is probably going to be where we kind of cut it off for the next little while. And then the next phase of development for us is we want to have this used in some substantive fashion in a project. And I'm not going to say what project it's going to be used by, but there is a project that really wants to use Geocrypto Utils and has asked us for some help with that. So maybe very soon you will see Geocrypto Utils as the basis of a substantial project that's coming out, but I'm not ready to announce it just yet. But that's what's on the roadmap, is sort of the last couple primitives, and then that will be published. And then after that is actually using it in a real project and demonstrating how Geocrypto Utils can be used to produce a client.
Okay, that sounds exciting. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
对，刚才这个问题就是问他们的开发的路线图啊，就说是完成这个主要的这个功能，就是这是他们的一个就是现阶段的这个就是下一段的这个路线图里面，就是完成就是主要的就是Chia里面的一些功能，它提到了有3个哈，一个是那个 DID，就是那个去中心化的这个去中心化的这个 ID，就是这个就身份认证系统。这个DID 也是Chia当时推出来的时候一个比较它的一个卖点之一吧，我有这个印象。这个他们已经基本上它已经是完成了。第二个就是那个 offer file，就是大家在做那个在Chia上面做交易的时候，不是可以来写一个那个就是 offer file 嘛？如果大家做过这个这部分的交易的话，应该也熟悉这个概念。这是它这部分也基本上快完成了。好，然后第3个就是那个 NFT 的支持。NFT 支持呢，就是说他们之前也做了好几版，但是因为官方的对 NFT 的支持的这个规范不断的在修改，所以他们也在不断修改，所以现在就目前暂时停止这个 NFT 的开发，直到官方有一个正式的一个发布的一个版本之后来对 NFT 的一个支持。就是说其中呢他就讲到一个，就说是他们希望就是这个Chia这个 Crypto Util 能够被真正的用到一些实用的大型的项目里面去。他现在实际上已经最少有一个团队在跟他们合作，但他现在不能够公布这个合作的细节啊，就说是但是下一个我们可以看到，就说是Chia Crypto Util 就会作为一个基础的这个库用在别的这个项目里面。Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so yeah, if there's questions, I'm happy to answer any questions from the community and anybody that's here.
好，就是之前我们预先那个设计好的一些问题，他都已经回答完了。那么现在就是那个社区里面还有别的问题，现在可以自由的这个提问。然后大家可以就是打字的方式，在这个我这个聊天里面，或者我可以给大家翻译一下，或者如果想直接询问这个问题也是没有问题的。
对，大家有问题可以提出来。
There's no questions.
Actually, Grant, it's a kind of a technical discussion this time. So many people, they don't know too much about programming. They are farmers mostly, so that's why. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about the topics I discussed with you, like the chip.
Yeah. So Dimitri's proposal is interesting. I read through it, and I read through Mariano's comments thus far on it. It's interesting what they're proposing, and I can see from the perspective of having a browser extension and wanting to interact with the Chia blockchain in some way, these would be useful sorts of things that he's asking for. I think it needs quite a bit more refinement, right? This is a very good start, but there's a lot of improvement that can be made to what he's asking to have added. But I'm hopeful that the Chia team will be excited to add some of these things, because it will definitely move things along in the whole ecosystem as far as being able to do more distributed application programming, especially from my experiences working with the Terra blockchain. I can see how the things that are being asked for by the Gobi team are things that I'm normally used to having. So I'm excited that they're pushing on the Chia team from this side, because it will make everything easier to do as we start to do more DeFi style protocols.
6
这个项目我不是很清楚啊，这个 chip 这个
我先介绍一下简单的那个背景吧。那个CHIP chip 呢，它是起亚的就是改进提议，跟那个比特币那个 BIP 和那个以太坊的那个 EIP 差不多。 那么这个是前一段时间起亚已经就是设置了这个可以提案的一个标准，这个 chip 的标准规范已经列出来了。但是呢，一直到前几天，这个高比钱包他们提出的是第一个提案，这个提案呢，大体的意思呢就是对这个开发这个 DAPP 做这个签名。比如说我们的这个，他们是做钱包嘛，那比如说钱包，就是签信息就是 message 的一个这么一个提案，然后可能是对这个 DAPP 的这个未来的这个第三方的 DAPP 的开发会比较有帮助。就提了这么个提案。
了解了，这 chip 对吧？就是 Chia improvement那个 proposal。对，这个是在这个就区块链开发里面就是非常就是常见的，就是跟那个社区互动，就社区自治的这样的一种方式，就说是在这个生态里面，就是包括那个比如说以太坊它就是 EIP 嘛，就 Ethereum Improvement Project Proposal， 就说是任何开发者或任何人都可以提出来对这个项目的改进的这个意见，然后呢，大家可以来投票或者来讨论，就是说这种方式才能够用。包括从比特币开始，这个就传统上就叫 BIP， 就在这种讨论的这种基础上面，就是形成了很多事实上的这种规范，然后呢，就说是大家可以采用的，对吧？就是说之前我记得那个河马刚才也讲了，就说是那个狗币钱包他们做了个提案，对吧？就是在那个就是对浏览器里面就是对这个起亚的这个就是消息来做签名，实际上这个。我印象中，上次跟那个 Dimitri 聊的时候，我实际上当时也提出了这样的一个问题，就是通过，就是像以太坊一样，就通过签名的方式来验证用户的这个，就是这个所有权，对钱包的所有权，同时就是不需要做任何链上的交易，只需要通过签名的方式，这个实际上是对，在那个刚才 Grant 讲的，就是说在起亚上面，如果要开发任何这种去中心化金融的项目、DeFi 的项目什么，都是非常重要的一个一个基础的一个。就是building block 就是一个基础的一个库的这样一个或者一个要求然后呢，就是说这官方上也就提出了一个对这个 chip 这样子的一个规范嘛，一个标准的格式嘛，就是怎么样来提这个提案的一个标准格式这个yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think I saw the comments from Mario, but I think that will take years, maybe 1 year, 2 years to finish that chip. How do you think about that?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it depends. If I think that this what Dimitri is asking for, it fits in with what they're trying to do with rate limited wallets and clawbacks and this kind of stuff, because Chia, I think, is working on real financial technology that's going to be coming out within the next couple months. So I'd be surprised if they don't move on something like this before the fall. If it's not out sometime, like something along these lines by September, I would be very surprised. So I don't think it's going to take that long, but I think they will try to move on something like that this year, I would think. So, oh yeah, go ahead.
行，这段我来简单说一下吧，就是我刚才就是提到，还是他这个 Dimitri 的，就是高比钱包提的这个提案，因为一般的像 BIP 这个社区提的提案呢，如果要获得通过，因为它是个社区自治的嘛，然后再加上这个要各方面的一些论证，可能我说这个提案会不会经历的时间很长，1、2年这样子的。他说他估计这个功能的话，目前高比提的这个功能的话，应该也是起亚比较急需的对它后边金融应用比较实用的一个功能，所以应该不用那么长时间应该也是比较快，可能在这个今年秋季应该是就能够达成而且它也很奇怪，其实按道理这个应该是起亚应该主动解决的一个问题 因为这个对后边这个 DeFi 生态都是比较有帮助的，大概就是这样。好，现在社区这边有问题啊，社区刚才我看了这个。
Hi, Grant.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Dimitri, and I just come to.
Dimitri is here. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's in launch, so it sounds maybe very noisy. Yeah. First of all, nice work, and I love your simulator, and it helps us developer faster and better. Yeah. And have you taken a look at that proposal?
The chip proposal, yes, I've looked at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like good. I'm wondering if you have some thoughts on it, because it's still a draft, and our team is still working on that, and there are lots of improvements and some questions we haven't decided because it's very fundamental, and we want to make it very solid. For example, the sign message. So if you are available, and any comment is very appreciated. Yeah,
I will
That's
put some comments on it. I haven't had a chance to yet. It's been a very busy a couple weeks for me, so I haven't had a chance to yet, but I did look at it, and I'm very excited that it's there.
Very sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I will though. I will.
河马，你继续吧。好，谢谢，不好意思。
好的，刚才那个 Dimitri 正好进来了啊，也希望这个 Grant 对这个提案做一些这种评论啊，就是特别是在 GitHub 里边做一些对这个提案的一些看法啊，这样能够有助于大家一起去完善它。现在我看到这个谢谢这个 Dimitri 啊，这个积极参与到我们 AMA 里边来啊，然后这个社区里边有2个问题提出来，第一个问题是在推特上，Grant 说过对 Chia Project 编码制定了一个解决方案，这个方案可以具体说说吗？是什么意思？
So another thing that we're working on is, as I mentioned, at Exodus, I got really good at running full nodes as something that was part of a core competency. And in the course of some of the work that we've been doing, having a reliable Chia node is very difficult. The database becomes corrupted, and then you have to resurrect it, you have to fix it. So we've actually been working on an Infura style offering for Chia full nodes. I am against centralization, but I realize how difficult keeping a Chia full node is online for some teams. And so for those who don't have the expertise in being able to run their own node, we're planning on making this available probably for a fee, but right now it's just kind of publicly out there. I did approach the hash.green team, and they used it, and their response was, wow, this is great. It's so much more performant than anything that we've seen thus far. So that was nice feedback, and that was sort of something that was just looked at today. So there will be more details about that. I'm going to be publishing that and letting the community know that we're sort of letting people try it out. And then in the future, yeah, it'll be available for teams that need a reliable full node for, like anybody that really is trying to run something in Chia. If you need to get access to a reliable full node, even as a backup, right? Maybe you're running your own, but if you need something just in case yours goes down, it would be there so you could fall back to it. So that might be something that's of interest to a lot of other teams, to ensure that they have that really reliable system, that they don't ever end up in a situation like Nucleus did the other day, where their node went down and then all the wallets were offline. And that not a good situation.
6，
好，就是另外一个项目就是他们也在看的，就说是因为大家都知道，如果要自己运行一个Chia的这个全节点，也不是一个简单的活儿啊。但是我们在座的可能大家都矿工，可能还比较清楚这个事情啊。但是如果你不是做矿工，只是做一个生态开发的开发者的话，就是自己要运行和维护一个全节点，然后也并不是一个很简单的事情。还有呢，就参照那个以太坊生态里面有一个叫做那个 Infura 的这个项目，是提供了一个大家可以就是中心化的一个全节点，可以让提供然后这种存取的这种 API， 可以让大家来访问这个全节点，然后这是Grant 他们也希望在这个Chia生态里面建立一个类似的这样子的一个服务，那这样子会减少这个大家就是的开发呀，或者是这个运行这个或者做那种就是 application 开发，就是可以减少他们的这个负担，对吧？也可以便于上手。他说他自己是对这个中心化的这种服务是比较不喜欢的，很讨厌的啊。但是呢，为了减少这个开发者的负担的话，就是说提供这样一个服务，或者甚至把只是作为一个备份的方案，也是一个很好的一个用途，对吧？如果你自己运行的节点如果掉线了或者怎么样的话，也可以使用他们提供的这样的一个中心化的就是这样一个节点服务。它跟那个 HashiGreen 就是上次来的那个欧洲的那个小伙子也聊过，他们那个小伙子不是说他们自己也做了一个。如果大家参加了上次 AMA 就知道，那个小伙他们也自己建立了一个，就是一个 HashiGreen 这样的一个服务，也是提供了一个就是作为全节点开放给大家。我上次还问过他一些这种技术上的问题，就是说，大家对能够提供这样的这个生态服务，在对Chia的生态里面，实际上对开发者是会更友好啊。就这点，我们觉得就是对这个生态实际上是也是非常重要的一个基础设施方面的一个贡献。
So it's free, right? Now it's free.
Right now it's free, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it free. It costs me money to run it. So it's like, it's free for now.
Yeah, so Grant actually, so we do also MaxDAO will also maintain our full node anyway, right? So maybe we can collaborate later on to say how can we also like join to the effort to provide the free access. We have our AWS account as well, so to provide free access to developer in the Chia ecosystem. Maybe we can co-sponsor some of the costs as well.
Yeah, we should talk. I definitely want to get connected with you more directly. You and I need to be in touch.
Sure.
So how do you think about the dust storm? How to prevent?
It's okay. It made everyone have to support fees, so I'm okay with it. And it also is pushing the Chia team to figure out how to solve some of the problems they're going to need to solve anyway, about like what happens if your wallet gets avalanche buried with snowflakes. You know, you have to work on these problems. So it's forcing them to sort of deal with some situations that they otherwise maybe wouldn't have had to have done, but definitely something that needs to be solved. And even I ran into it, right? Because some of the calls that you can make to the RPC. So like one of the ones that we use all the time is get coin records by puzzle hash. And sometimes when you make a call, it looks like it's just hanging forever, but actually it's because there's thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of records that it's returning. And so you have to limit it down and say, well, I only want stuff within this block range. So it's I think it's a good thing because it's making all of our code much more resilient earlier. Otherwise, if more people would have been using Chia and then we would have had the dust storm after that, then everything would have been busted and people would have had a bad experience. So it's better for us to have this dust storm now, I think. So I'm in favor of it. I'm pro dust storm. I say vote yes on dust storm.
So you think somebody do that kind of attacking in purpose? Why they do that? I don't know. 刚才社区的第二个问题就是预防沙尘暴，我就顺便问了他一句，就是也没有什么新的什么方案啊，就是还是跟以前一样，用一个这个就是交易手续费吧。然后现在因为越早出现这种沙尘暴，其实越好， 那么对将来万一企业爆发的时候出现的这种高频的这种交易的话，那么我们已经做好准备了。OK。So anybody has questions? So 如果大家没有其他的问题，Grant
这个沙尘暴攻击这个事儿，上次我觉得大家都问了好多次，我上次也讲过类似的观点，就是这个实际上是个好事情，就是让大家知道交易并不是免费的啊，就是在实际上所有的类似的区块链的系统里面都碰到这种问题，包括我们自己 Harmony， 就是我们上线的时候也都碰到很多这样类似的这种，就是相对于这种就垃圾邮件的攻击啊，这样一样，就在对整个系统提高整个系统的稳定性，实际上是在早期出现的问题比在后期出现的问题好。就是说，所以说刚才郭然讲，他是支持这个沙尘暴攻击，但肯定就是说，这点就是对整体上来讲，就是说是对系统的稳定性以及大家在使用起来，就是就是会意识到你会需要就是加上了交易费，这都是一个好事儿。像这我个人也是其实比较支持的。当然了，对矿工啊或者对现在的生态一些影响，但你要知道，就是说是在早期的这种发现了问题或者这种影响的话，比在后期当你系统已经是支持了比较多的这种企业级的应用，甚至更高的这种就是金融领域的应用，那时候再出现这种攻击，那时候再出现问题的话，就说是会早期出现这种问题，实际上是个好事儿。
Grant, I remember we talked a little bit about the domain service in the space. So, but unfortunately, Dr. Liang, the Chinese team leader, he cannot come today because the situation in Shanghai. He's busy to buy something to eat. So, but anyway, I remember you said you have some idea about that domain service.
About which service?
That's domain name, like a
Oh, yes,
dot,
yes.
Dot service, something like that.
Yes. So if you look at the DID code, the DID code is similar to the plot NFT. So the way the plot NFT works is there's a singleton. So the singleton pattern is being reused by DID. And so how it works is there's a launcher coin, and the launcher coin is responsible for creating and recreating this singleton. So when you think about what you would need to do for a name system inside of Chia, what you would want is you would want a launcher coin that would control the creation of new DIDs and say that I'm only going to allow for this type of lineage. So there are these ideas of lineage and launcher coins. And if you combine these two ideas, you could create a domain name system, because what you need is like a centralized gatekeeper, something that says, I'm the only one who will allow the creation of new coins. And the coins that are being created would be these domain names that you would want to keep track of. And so if you did it like that, then you'd be able to create a system like that. So you really just need two fundamental ideas. One is the idea of a launcher coin. And then the second thing is to have the launcher coin create the next coin type. So it's a little too much probably to really describe in this meeting, but that's why I said, you know, if somebody wants to work on something like this, I could show them a few of the ideas that are in the Chia list and how to start working on that, because it's very possible, and it is it's available if somebody wanted to work on that. But the barrier would be you really do have to know Chia list for this one. It's not something you can do without writing your own custom puzzles. You really have to do that if you're going to think about trying to accomplish this goal. I'm not going to work on it right now. It's not something I'm working on, but it could be done.
Leo，你来翻译一下吧。 因为
这
个设计
个背景我也不是很清楚，这个项目的背景我，他讲到了这个 DID 啊，就是说是，就Chia里面这个 DID 刚才简单提了一下，就是那个就是去中心化的这个 ID 系统，这个是，我个人对这个方面也有一些研究，就是说是这个是现在的，就是说下一代这个Web3的这个基础设施里面非常重要的一环，就说是，目前大家就说是在那个 Web2的这个世界里面，你的那个身份的认证的话。都是由中心化的机构来实现的，然后同时对用户来说，你自己并没有对你的身份拥有一个所有权。大家类比一下现实世界里面这个身份证啊，就是说你自己持有你的身份证，那就是相对于是 ID，你就是到任何地方的话，你可以出示你的身份证，然后别人看到的身份证，如果它可以验证的是真实的啊，就是我不知道这身份证本身但也有作假的，但是如果在区块链世界里面，如果这个是可以验证的方式的话，那么大家都可以相信你。就是说在那个所以在区块链里面呢，就说是用这种 DID 的这种方式的话，就是让每个用户都可以持有，他可以通过一些这个机构来申请获得他的那个 ID。如果通过认证之后呢，他可以使用他的这个身份到任何不同的一种应用里面去，都可以去验证他的身份。这样的话就说是用户本身是持有这个他的身份认证，然后呢，这样的话，一个好处是说他也可以通过一些选择性的这种就是披露他的信息，对吧？不用每次把他的信息全部披露给那个就是那种 application 的这种方式，这是 DID 的一个应用。就是刚才讲的，比如说Chia里面，就是说，因为Chia实际上是在之前是也是大力的那个打了这个 DID 的这个应用这个方式，他就讲了一些一些技术细节啊，就说是怎么样用一个独特的这种就是 launcher ID， 然后以及就说是生成一个新的这个 coin set， 这里面细节他也不想讲，然后讲太多在这里面。至于就说是说到他自己也不会去 work on 的，不会去做这个东西。那你需要对那个 Chia list 比较深刻这个理解的人才能够做这些东西。这个大概我大概听了个大概，因为这个项目本身我也没有研究过这个背景，所以不是有太多的这个技术细节。Yeah, I think we are like over 1 hour already. I guess like it's pretty late for granted and 1 a.m. already. So really appreciate your time. I think that's a great conversation, and thanks for bringing all those like details and the insights, especially for the contribution to the community to build the foundation library and to provide the service. I feel that's the greatest thing that can have in the ecosystem. I think the Chia team really should either hire you or like give you a huge grant for that.
Yes, you should tell them like give Irulast a grant because I'm working on it. I want to finish Geocrypto Utils, so they should definitely fund our grant. So you can if you can bug them and say yes.
No, I'm more than happy to give you a grant on the Harmony ecosystem. Unfortunately, you are not interested into our blockchain anyway. So I'm by the way, I'm the VP engineer at Harmony protocol. We are layer 1 protocol compatible with the EVM. So we can definitely talk offline about any possible further collaboration.
Yes, I've already followed you on Twitter, so let's definitely connect. I'm very interested in talking with you more.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much, Grant, again, and I hope next time, if we have chance, we can talk more in our AMA or in the Twitter space. Thank you.
Yes, I will come again. So happy to come in the future.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Great to have you, Grant, today.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
大家再见。我们也感谢社区所有参加的人啊。那么今天的这个 AMA 到此结束啊。我们也会上传这个今天的这个录像大家可以回放来观看。没听明白的，到时候再好好去研究一下。也欢迎大家给我们留言啊。好，谢谢大家，周末愉快。
拜。对 Grant 是非常
谢谢大家。
非常不错的生态贡献者。
好，拜拜。
拜拜。
好，大家拜拜。